When I first came up with the idea of doing these videos, it was very important to me to be super transparent. It is very important to me to show how. From experience, I'm realizing that everybody's how looks and feels different. But when somebody wholeheartedly, honestly, rawly shares their how with you, even if your life may not look the same, it encourages you to go after your own things with that same amount of honesty and courage to do so. I hate to use the word haunting, but I feel like this topic is haunting me. I see where my want to be more consistent with making content, I'm crippled. I only go but so far because I have this weight sitting on my shoulders. I just don't want to live the rest of my life feeling like I have to look behind my back. I want to say for as long as I can remember, me and my biological sister have had a lot of turmoil in our relationship. It's not going to be a bashing or anything, but I'm just at a point where I realize that my truth is my truth. Sometimes when you're sharing what happened to you, even if you want to protect other people, it is what it is. People did what they did, and you can't protect everybody. You can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. All that matters is your intentions, and if you know that you're doing it from an honest place, then it is what it is. I wish all the time that things could have been different, even after all the things that we've been through, even till today. I wish that things could change, but it takes two. That's what I'm realizing, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna have to in this situation. I don't know if the two of us will ever see eye to eye, and I'm tired. I don't want to hold this anymore. The love is still there, if not more than ever, but I can no longer enable a situation that is destroying me as well. So this story time is going to be about a really, really tough time in my life. I've been the youngest now of my biological family. I've been the oldest of combined family. And if you put everybody together, I am the middle. So I feel like I played a lot of positions. I'm so grateful for these 4 years that have passed and all that I've learned with being a big sister. And I have to be honest, I have to think a lot of my past, as shitty as my relationship was with my biological siblings, the great sister that I am today has a lot to do with the experiences that I went through then. Jumping right into the story time. The other day, my baby sister, let me say that because I am going to reference to two different sisters. So baby sis, she is a creative at heart. She's going to grow up to do amazing things. She dance, she's into the makeup and the nails, and I feel like she can really dominate whatever she puts her mind to. So I had a makeup case. My traveling makeup case was in the living room. She had came downstairs and I hear her fumbling with the case because it's metal. So I kind of hear somebody playing with it or whatever. So I kind of peek around the corner and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know. And instantly I was furious. I wasn't furious at her enough to lash. I wasn't even furious enough to understand what exactly I was feeling, but it was just a weird feeling that had kind of overtook me at the moment. In those moments, I know now to be as transparent and as honest as I feel without matching it with anger. So I told her, I don't like that. Like, don't do that. Don't touch that stuff. Now, a little bit of backstory. I love her ambition for it. So when she told me that she wanted a makeup kit for Christmas, that's what she got. I seen that she was into nail polish. I'll get you the nail polish set. I'll invest in that for you, but I'm very particular with certain things. I share a lot. Like, my sisters can have the shirt off my back, but there are some things that I don't like to share. She was touching something that I felt like was violating a boundary for me, and I got so upset and I couldn't understand why I was so upset. This was a different type of feeling. And then it hit me that what she was doing is something that when I did it in my past, I got the shit beat out of me for. It was hard because now I was placed in a situation where I can be that person. I can be the abuser, or I can be the loving big sister. I can dish to you what I've been dealt, or I can do better. It was an enormous amount of emotion that had hit me at that time, and I didn't know where to put it. I remember going to my stepmom and I started crying because I was like, I don't know why I feel this way. And I feel so guilty for even thinking like that. Some of the things that passed in my mind was, shit, did I deserve what happened to me? I thought to myself, I understand why my sister did what she did. I thought to myself, damn, I buy you stuff. Why do you have to touch my stuff? My sister wouldn't buy me shit. So it's like, I buy you stuff, so why isn't this problem fixed? But the bottom line was just like, I'm not over what I've been through. That moment made me think how many minor situations like this has to happen, and I'm experiencing a overload of emotions that don't even call for the scenario. I don't want to burst out crying every time something regular happens. I now realize that that is a result of what happens when you've been through a traumatic situation, you've been through any form of abuse, you've been told that you're wrong or you're doing something wrong enough times. That's what comes with it. That moment just really pushed me to get to my bottom line. What is my deep-rooted issue? And that question blew my Pandora box open. A lot of the things that I thought that I was over, or the things that I thought that I got away from because I moved, was right there. It was right under that first layer, and it was still, I remember hurting. When, you know, I had first moved down here and I got my car, and I got one of those big pom-pom balls for my keychain, and then my little sister got her car and she got a pom-pom ball for her keychain, and then our baby sister asked our mom to get her a pom-pom ball. She didn't have a keychain, but she wanted a ball. And in that moment, I thought about it. These times are super bittersweet for me. My siblings look up to me. I'm some type of inspiration to them. But then on the other side, this feeling ain't that bad. When I was looking up to my sister, she didn't like it. She'll rip me apart for it. And in those moments when now I'm on the other side of the road, I'm like, that big sister feeling isn't that bad. The copy Me Too thing is not that bad. It's actually a really cool feeling. And I just would think, why did she do me like that? I think I still bounce back and forth between the idea of accepting the fact that I was just a kid. I was just your little sister. I just wanted to be like you. The things that you liked, I thought was cool. Even sneaking, because when the situation happened with my little sister touching my traveling case, and I was talking to our mom about it, she was like, you know, that sneaking part is it's the excitement. You know that you're not supposed to touch this, but that just makes you kind of want to touch it more. And it's like a sentimental type of thing that your younger siblings are going to be drawn to. And when I heard that, it kind of hurt and healed at the same time to hear that, because I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling when I did what I did to my sister, you know, touching her stuff, being in her room and stuff like that. Like, that was the feeling that I was feeling. But the repercussions for it were excessive. It did a lot of damage. I don't even think that she knows. I don't know if she would care if she knew, but I don't even know how I would feel. I don't even know if it makes a difference at this point. I just I'm tired of hiding it. You know, I'm tired of being self-cautious about it. I have a million and one thoughts in the back of my head of what to be and what not to be because of it. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't know if anybody has been in a situation where the cops search your house and you see how it is in the movies where all your stuff is flipped over. and torn up, my sister would do that to me if a shirt went missing. Some of the times it wasn't something that I took. It was just she probably misplaced it, but in her head she just knew that I took it. I remember one time she had on one of my shirts, and till this day I'm still like this. I don't sleep in my going out clothes. I asked her like, oh, do you mind just like taking it off or whatever? Like, don't sleep in that shirt. And I would never forget my sister ripping it off her body. At the time, it's regular because it happened so often, but then when I look back on it, today Ashley I'm fearful when I hear the things that I've been through. It's like, wow, you survived a lot of shit. We've been through a lot. And I can't lie, I've played all types of roles with it. I played the victim. I tried to be as aggressive back. And I think the one time that turned the tables on it was we had gotten to this fight. And at this time, I think I had just started wearing weave too. So I had like set it off braids going straight back. And she said something and it pissed me off. She was just telling some shit that she ain't had no business telling. I had got mad, and I know that we had went back and forth or whatever, and I said something, and she went to grab for my hair, and there wasn't no hair. Like, in my head, it's like, yo, hit her first. I'm like, hit her again, because the moment you stop hitting her, she gonna start hitting you. I know that she had grabbed for me, and at that time, she had a ring that was like a heart shape at the end, so like the bottom of the heart had cut me across my chest. So my brother broke it up and, you know, whatever, they put me in one room and she's in the other room. And my brother comes in and he's like, you good? Like, that's all you got on you? Nah, you did good. You did good this time. Toxic as fuck. But I remember that time because then our older sister, I guess, was talking to her and was like, yo, Blank, like, what's your problem with Ashley? Like, why you gotta be this way with her? And her response was, it's not that I don't like her. I just don't like the way that people treat her. People treat her too good, so I treat her the way that I do. And when I heard that, I was like, nah, I can't fight you no more. Because I don't even know what we're fighting for anymore. That came from a deep place that I'm not familiar with. I don't operate like that. So I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm not going to win this. Granted, that didn't stop the physical altercations from happening. If that was teens, we well on had our fair ones in adulthood, and that ultimately pushed me to leaving. Granted, it's not all her. I knew that it just came down to like life or death. Death or jail. Staying. And I left. I'm a big sister now, and everything that I do for my siblings, there's thought put into it. By now, some things are habit, but the first for everything is some real true effort that goes into it. And I don't even know if my little siblings know that when they're being children and being loud and, you know, just retarded. They're as close to angels as any kid this generation is going to get. And I don't need to infuse aggression that they don't know. And they don't need to know it. Even when my little sis, I'm watching her growing and blossom into a beautiful young lady. And it's like, wow, you know, like this is what it feels like to have a healthy sister relationship. I think the hardest thing for me in those moments is there's still a little voice in the back of my head. My biological sister, she loved me. I remember a few of the good times, like on my 21st birthday, she had invited me out with her friends, and when she does the affectionate thing, it's still very aggressive. I remember she's like, you did growing up. Like, I think she hugged me or something, but it's always like, you know, it's never like, and it was weird. Like, all of us that was around was just like, what? My sister tried to protect me in her toxic ways. I know now that they're toxic because I am a big sister. And I remember dude, she'd be like, don't talk to my sister. You know, don't like her, don't talk to her. Like, I think she more so had a fear of me growing up. And I know that it was in good intentions, but the other stuff just outweighed those moments. And it sucks. Although I thought that I was doing a good job of protecting myself from some of the things that happened to me and some of the things that were said to me, some of the things definitely got in. You know, like that saying, you can't sink a ship unless the water gets in. Yeah, some of that water definitely got in. I remember when I was coming into a certain age and I started wearing extensions, playing with my look a little bit. We had this big mirror in our dining room that we would all get ready in front of. And I remember my sister walking by and being like, "You're ugly," or "Ew, you're wearing that," or "You look like this," or you wear weave," and you know, and then in those moments you kind of like brush it off, but you hear something enough times, you're gonna find some truth to it. I still feel like some days I'm going through an identity crisis of what I want to look like and who I want to be like. It's always a question to me, like, am I offending somebody? Did I do something wrong? You know, like I'm always trying to make myself smaller in places that it shouldn't even matter. I bounce back and forth within my light. Sometimes I dim my own light, and it's becoming more clearer why. And within that, it's becoming more clearer how to let go of that. I thought I was a selfish person. I heard that a lot when I was younger, like that I was so selfish or whatever. But as an adult, I'm starting to realize I'm not selfish. I'm just very aware. I'm so grateful that I am not what I come from. I'm so grateful that even though I didn't have a lot of examples around me growing up, that I didn't get stuck. I remember one of my earliest prayers were to not be left behind, no matter what, to just make it by that much. I was really young when I would pray that because I was always more fearful of where I was versus where I was at. I believed that I was problematic. I believed that everything is my fault. You know, because I heard that a lot too. I'm realizing I'm not problematic. It's just a attraction thing. When you deal with something or become a product of your environment or whatever, like you tolerate, you are going to attract that. I'm stepping into how to separate the two clearly while we're here today making this video. I think about myself. I don't deserve good things happening to me. It's not possible for me, that I'm not worthy of good things, good people, good situations, but God shows up every time. I'm so blessed today that I can't even insult him anymore to even entertain that thought. Yeah. And then who am I? I'm still figuring that part out. I hold on to the fact that we're supposed to grow. We never stop growing. There's no cap out of growth. Once you get there, you kind of need to start from square one. This has caused me a lot. I have a way better idea of who I am today, but I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with BPD. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to look that up. I don't really know how I feel about opening up so much to that, but it's a thing that I am working with, you know, accepting that about myself. I do struggle with knowing how I feel sometimes, struggle with my image of knowing how I feel about myself. My confidence fluctuates, but I am way more aware of who I am. I am an amazing person. I am genuinely there for people that I love. I genuinely understand what I understand, and when I don't, I am very honest with what I don't understand. Edges are smoothing out. They're not as like rough as they used to be. I'm glad that I'm tackling that, and I'm pushing myself and I'm pushing my boundaries. So much hooked on what other people think about me. Like more and more I feel like I don't care. I do love myself. And the rest of it is to like figure out through experience. If there's anything that I wanted people to take away from this, don't be in your own way. Doesn't matter how tough it is. Doesn't matter how distant the thought may feel. Work at it. Little by little, it will become clear to you. Don't fall into the like, I am who I am. This is how I be. Don't do that. Write down the person that you want to be. Like I wrote down mine. If I had it in front of me, I probably would share. I'll make another video on that. I wrote down who I am like my personal character avatar, and every time that I read it back, I'm like, yeah, that's me, because I'm matching it. Actions is there, the thought process is there, the vibe is there. So I would say get a handle of who you want to be and just start showing up as that person in every situation. Don't be afraid of your heart. Don't be afraid if you're a lover. Like I said, I love my sister more these days. It's sad because I'm healing what I'm going through, but then I'm also realizing what they went through. If I could say something to my sister, I would say be gentle with yourself. I feel like as these years have passed by, I feel like I understand you a lot more. And although what you did is your fault because you did it, I empathize with you because I understand that your life wasn't easy as well. One thing that came with age and one thing that came with separating myself was realizing that we all went through things from different perspectives. And me being the youngest, I get to see what was going on with y'all. Unfortunately, with the circumstances of our relationship and us having each other blocked on a lot of social medias and stuff, I really did realize the importance of being there for you, you know, supporting you, being able to congratulate you and wish you your best wishes face to face. But I also am aware that you do not feel the same way, or you haven't felt the same way. And out of respect for myself and understanding what I deserve and what I would tolerate, and also out of respect for your space, that I wouldn't want to cross or step on your toes either. And I wish you the best. That's it. I'm just ready to live my life and put this behind me. Yeah.